All right, I guess we're live. Fuck it.
We're live.
Yep. No theme song and no one in the chat. So, yay. I'm so popular, Randy. Look at me.
Yeah, we kind of
Oh,
pulled
there's
it.
someone in the chat. I was about to say there's someone in the chat. I was like, oh, fuck it. It's you.
It's me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So, yeah, we're just sitting here, just chilling,
Yep.
kind of bummed out today because we got
Yeah.
the news that Hulk Hogan, the immortal one, passed away this morning due to
Yep.
cardiac arrest. Um, it's a big deal in the wrestling world,
Oh
man.
yeah.
And as wrestling fans, I figured it would be very apropos if we did a show tonight
Yeah.
to kind of just talk about it. Um, I don't know, man. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Kind of caught me out of the blue because last time I physically saw him, they were
Plus, with
announcing.
with Ozzy Osbourne just happening.
Well, yeah, and and Chuck Mangione not 20 minutes behind him. I don't know if you know who Chuck Mangione is.
I don't know who that is.
He's a jazz trumpetist and from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Hmm.
I mean, he's Grammy award winning. He's one of the best horn players ever.
Hmm. Hey,
Okay.
quite loud. What's going on, dude? Hello, my little soda pop. That's a K-pop Demon Hunters reference.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Did you watch
Believe
it?
me, my granddaughter is all over that show.
Oh, you've seen it.
I've seen parts of it, but I haven't sat down and
Do you
watched
know
the whole
what
thing.
did give me comfort, Randy?
Hmm,
In the whole passing of Hulk Hogan
what's that?
is that, you know, at the time of his passing, K-pop Demon Hunters is now the number one movie in the world,
Yeah.
number one movie in 26 different countries.
It's
So
caught
most
everybody off guard.
likely, I don't know if it's 100% true,
Yeah.
but most likely Hulk Hogan would could have watched K-pop Demon Hunters, which means that could have actually been the last movie he ever
Not
watched
Patty.
in his entire life.
Yeah. I mean,
Nemovir's
eh,
been infected by the power of K-pop Demon Hunters. Hey,
hey,
little
and
Patty.
honestly, she loves it. My granddaughter absolutely loves it, but it's a cartoon. It's not a kids cartoon per se. I
Oh,
understand,
geez. Hogan's
but
son getting another DUI tonight. I don't know if we want to bring up Hogan's son.
yeah, well, according to Jimmy Hart, he wasn't without a voice like Bubba the Love Sponge said, which I think that's another idiot in the first place. But when you got somebody coming right out and saying, "Oh no, he's fine. We just did karaoke with Nick on Monday night." Don't give us that bullshit. Come on now.
Hmm.
I don't know what happened for sure, but there's no doubt in my mind he was not doing karaoke on Monday night.
Right.
But like I said, it kind of catches you a little off guard because we don't hear out of him all the time like we used to, and anything comes out of Bubba the Love Sponge mouth, I think, is a lie to start with. And now that you're sitting there going, this just happened out of the blue. And I knew he was getting weaker. I knew you could see that when we looked at him in January when Raw went
That
to
show we did,
Netflix.
Everybody Hates Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Yep.
you could see the I won't say frailness because he wasn't really frail, but you could see the age
He
creeping
was
in
looking
real bad.
old. He was
Yeah,
walking old.
he couldn't go to the ring. There's no way he could have
Right.
got into the ring. I don't think.
Right.
Hit between hip
Well, I mean,
hip
his body
replacements,
was
knee
just so
replacements.
fucking beat up at that
Oh
point. He was
yeah,
walking around like
yeah.
a goddamn mummy.
I mean, honestly, and you can't just say it's just him. Look at Ric Flair now. Ric Flair walking around right now,
Dude,
he can barely move.
I'm pretty sure Ric Flair is not long for this world.
Oh no, but he's gonna drink himself to death.
I mean, the way this
So
guy is like at his age and the amount that he's still drinking, even though like
yeah,
everyone and his doctors say, dude, if you keep drinking like this, your heart's gonna explode. So you should
I don't
probably
think he
stop.
can stop. I
And that
really don't think
motherfucker's
he
still
can.
still up in them bars, just pounding it
Yeah,
every night. I'm like, God damn, just and how's that motherfucker still alive? I mean, I love him to death.
I
I want him to be on this earth as long as we can. I
yeah,
respect him.
yep.
I respect Charlotte Flair, even though a lot of people give
Oh
her
yeah,
shit.
yeah. And
But
look at how
still,
she's
man,
rebuilding herself right now too. Her and
the way
Alexa
they,
Bliss are doing great.
I
So
honestly, Randy, I actually have a bit of a crush on Charlotte Flair. I would ask her
well,
out on a date.
any normal person would. She's a good
Yeah.
looking woman. She really is.
I thought she was way hotter before all the plastic surgeries, though.
Yeah,
Little
I
Patty, you
more
take
natural.
that back. Ric Flair is an ass. How dare you,
Um,
ma'am?
as much as I love Ric Flair and I still consider him probably the greatest wrestler of all time, I'm with you.
He is a
I've
bit of an
seen him in
ass.
action. He is an
He,
ass.
he can be a bit of an ass.
I mean, and so can Stone Cold. I sat there uh, saw a kid in one of the airports. We were going through one of the airports, and Stone Cold was at a payphone or whatever it was. He was on the phone, and this was late '90s, I guess.
Who's Donnie trying to date? Hogan's daughter? Actually, you know what?
You
If
might
I
be
had to
careful, Brooke.
date, if I had to date any female wrestler, or if
Hmm.
I had to ask one out on a date,
You going with Io Sky?
no, no, not even
Well,
close.
I'm going with Io Sky. You can do what you want. I'm going Alexa Bliss or Io Sky or Liv
Alexa
Morgan. Liv
Bliss is
Morgan.
up there. No, Io Sky, in my opinion, is one of the best female wrestlers of all
Oh,
time.
or none.
But in terms of
Stephanie.
like who I would
Oh,
have
but
the hots
Stephanie.
for, it would be either Becky Lynch or Sasha Banks.
I don't know. I'm between them, the ones we talked about already, and Stephanie Vaquer. Holy bloody hell.
Hmm.
Okay.
But anyway, we're here to talk about Hogan.
Yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part.
What a bummer, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
like the world actually feels different now
well,
that
yeah. I
Hogan's not
mean,
in it.
I I'm on a disgruntled veterans group in Texas. That it's a group on Facebook, and one guy got on there, and I understand the veterans
Hmm.
traumas and stuff like that better than a lot of them out there do, and he put on there. He said a couple of what you call it, celebrities die, and people are just getting all butt hurt and all reacting about it. Not
Hmm.
one person reacted to 22 uh, uh, veterans dying today, and I just
Hmm.
came back to him. First of all, do you know which 22 veterans died? No, you
Hmm.
don't. Secondly, you're going 22-20 because it's a statistic thing. Number three, there's something about when you have people that have been a part of your culture, your history, and your life that you've invested time, effort, and
Yeah.
for lack of a better word,
I
love into.
invested a big chunk of my childhood into Hulk Hogan, man.
Exactly.
I used to watch him on fucking Saturdays with my grandma, God rest her soul,
Yeah.
watching Superstars. Because my
Exactly.
grandma didn't speak a lick of English, but she loved watching wrestling with me
And I
when I was
bet you
like
were
7 years
watching it
old.
when Paul Orndorff turned on him, weren't you?
Yeah, I was crying. I remember that. That was the
I
first time
remember
I ever
kids
cried
crying.
watching wrestling.
I was like 16 at the time when that
Because
happened.
Hogan was selling so hard, and as like a six
Yeah,
year old kid, I was fucking feeling sorry for him.
yeah.
Bigfoot
So
Fade says, I worked in the airport in Portland, met Hulk and his daughter. He was eating Panda Express.
yeah, but now think about that. He was eating Panda Express. You got to meet him, and he was very cordial and nice to you, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's always been like that with fans for whatever reason. The others are asses, like I said, Stone Cold's been an ass, and I've seen Ric Flair be an ass, but I've never seen two people that really stand out: Kurt Angle and Hogan. If somebody walked up and just
Mm,
wanted to shake their hand, they will stop, take pictures. And I think John Cena used to do it too, but obviously he's in full blown heel mode right now. But
yeah.
he used to do the same thing until people started hounding him, and then he had to start getting to be an asshole about it because people were really hounding him at one time. So
Donnie so far is the only one who can pronounce fades. Lol. Everyone else says fat
feeds,
Fedez. Fedez.
feed
Well,
are you
I was an English teacher for like 15 years.
I mean, FADEZ. All you did was replace the S with a Z. It's fades, right?
Oh, he says I met Stone Cold. Also got a pic with him. Super cool dude.
And that's cool. I mean, but this kid walked up
Mm,
to him in the airport. I mean, the kid wasn't 9, 10 years old,
mm-hmm,
and he literally jumped down the kid's throat because he was on the phone. Instead of just reaching over and just signing something for the kid real
mm-hmm.
quick, while he was sitting there, he just absolutely became a complete dick. And I was like, I don't give a shit what he does. Now he's probably everybody has bad days,
Right.
but when it's a 9 year old or 10 year old, and that's your main fan base, as a business in the first place. Without them kids like that, you ain't gonna go nowhere. It's all
Mm.
gonna end soon. So
John Hinojosa
yeah,
says
yeah,
Hinojosa? Hinojosa?
yeah.
I'm saying
Hinojosa,
Hinojosa.
Hinojosa,
Hey all,
and
I remember when he wrestled as Sterling Golden
Sterling
and
Golden.
Terry Boulder
It was
back in them
Terry the
AW
Hulk Boulder at one
back in
time
them
in Florida
AWA
Championship
days.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
That was, and people said, you know, we talked about this. a while back. People talk about he's not a worker. He isn't this. He isn't that. He's not a real wrestler. I'm gonna tell you right now. Go back 75 to 80 or so. Watch him in Japan. Watch him in his heel days. With a manager like Classy Freddie Blassie. The dude could really work at one time. I mean, and I think when he
Yeah.
got into the WWF and got the championship and in Hulkamania, well, he was kind of hamstrung into stuff that he, didn't have to do the other stuff. You know what I mean? He didn't have to work hard. He had to make a show.
Well,
He
he
had to make a show
understood.
work.
Well, it's that style of wrestling from like
Exactly.
WWF. It was that early style where there wasn't as much. It wasn't like a spot fest, right? First of all, you had
No.
bigger guys who were bigger and
Yep.
slower.
Hmm.
They took their
And get winded a
time.
lot easier.
Oh yeah, I mean they're all fucking drugged out and shit. But
Well,
they
yeah.
took their time. They applied psychology. You had motherfuckers in there like Jake the Snake Roberts and shit.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more gimmicks, a lot more
Yep.
promos, a lot more like playing it up to the crowd. So that was he was just adopting that style, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Randy mentioned, you go back and watch some of his New Japan footage. That motherfucker can work, especially if you go back and
Before he
watch his
learned how to
matches.
cut a promo.
Yeah, especially when you go back and watch his matches with like Antonio Inoki and shit.
Oh, good lord. And
Those were some
and you
of
know
his
what?
best like physical, like in terms of
Yeah.
just straight wrestling, some of his finest work.
And later on, he credited Inoki with helping train him to really be a true wrestler. A
Yeah.
lot of times, those matches with him over there helped him immensely. But that's the way it is with the majority of wrestlers. Honestly, they go to Japan and they hone that craft. You
Right.
know, and I don't know. I mean, it's like pieces of people's childhood have just been dropped. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You've lost that, and I tell everybody. I told people today, like when you get that feeling, people have lost part of themselves, is what they did. Because look at how many times he actually kind of reinvented himself. Honestly, Ric Flair was always Ric Flair from 1974 when he first became 75 when he first became the Nature
He was
Boy.
always the same
He
guy.
was
Yeah.
always the Nature Boy the whole way through. Hogan went from Terry the Hulk Boulder and Sterling Golding early. Oh, good lord, yeah. But I'm telling you right now,
Bigfoot
that
Face
guy was so
says,
green.
I keep saying Madonna or Al Pacino's next. Hmm.
Hey,
I
we've
don't
already
know.
decided we're bubble wrapping Willie Nelson. Okay,
Hmm.
Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan are getting bubble wrapped so they don't die next. But it doesn't matter. I mean, I've heard their concert that they're going on right now, the Outlaws concert that they've been doing.
Can I
Is
offer
absolutely
you a very
horrid.
unpopular opinion, Randy?
Unpopular as far as what?
An unpopular opinion.
Okay,
I think Bob Dylan's overrated as fuck.
I think he's a songwriter. I don't think he's a singer or a performer at all.
That motherfucker's got no stage presence, no
No,
charisma.
and he's worse now. He's
His
actually
music
worse now.
doesn't sound all that good. Oh yeah, he says a lot of deep, meaningful words. Fuck that, man. Get the fuck out of here.
That's fine. He guess what?
Yeah.
He sold his damn library, so he doesn't have to perform nothing no more.
Right.
But he's out there doing it with Willie. And my boss went to the concert in
Yeah.
Houston a couple of weeks ago, and he said it. Dylan was one of the worst acts he's seen in forever.
Or Paul McCartney.
I don't know about Paul McCartney. I heard he puts on a hell of a show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, as far as putting bubble wrap on, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. We don't want to lose him next.
Speaking of putting on a show, and this
Yeah,
is something we mentioned last time when we talked about Hogan.
yeah,
Um, I, you know, I was recalling a live stream that Cody had done when he was still with the Bucks and Kenny
yeah,
on Being the Elite, and they did a lot
yeah,
like
yeah,
a fan live stream.
yeah.
And during the live stream, people in the chat were talking shit about Hogan. But then Cody kind of like says, hey, hold on, everybody, hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's scandals, there's all this stuff to criticize Hogan about. But one of the things that's undeniable, and one of the things that's the greatest thing about Hogan that he had more than any other wrestler,
yeah,
was his ability to pantomime. And then Cody explained it the best because he was there as a kid and witnessed it firsthand from the crowd, from being his dad's son. He
yeah,
said you could be up in the rafters watching a Hogan match and you could see Hogan like arguing with the ref and you know exactly what he's saying because he's speaking with his body language so
Yeah,
well, pantomiming, and
yeah,
that goes into his selling. Like you knew, when Hogan complained to the ref because his opponent was a cheating bastard,
yeah.
and then he's like, "Hey, man, what's this?" And
And
then like
everybody knew.
everyone knew exactly what was going on. That
Yeah,
was the genius of Hogan. That was the one thing
yeah.
he did better than anybody else in the business.
And that's one of those old school things because that's the way the old school wrestlers did it.
Hmm.
They would you wouldn't hear a word out of their mouths even sitting on the front
Right.
row, but their hand gestures and stuff while they're getting after the referee told you everything you needed to know. But you never
Right.
hear them speak. I mean, hell, it was the same when we're talking old school wrestlers. I see if you remember that. You knew him as maybe either Hakeem the African Dream, one man gang. Okay,
Hmm.
one man gang had a match in my hometown with Kerry Von Erich. And in those days, they used to let the kids go up to ringside. Okay. I mean, you'd have little kids all over the ring posts and stuff while Kerry's over there signing autographs. All the Von Erichs signing autographs in the corner, give them to them, as they're doing the announcing. Well, Gary Hart and One Man Gang hit the daggum ring,
Yeah.
and as they hit the other opposite corner, he turns around. One Man Gang turns around and tries to just goes running at Kerry, and he goes
Yeah.
goes running at him, and you see kids just scatter. You're right.
Yeah.
All he does is stop mid ring, turns around, and is laughing his butt off from
Hmm.
what he just did to those kids. I'm like, that's that's part of what you sell the crowd. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's one thing Hogan did too. He
Yeah.
sold the crowd on what was going on in the ring and didn't ever have to say a word.
And he would, his moveset was like in WWF or WWE. His moveset was overall pretty basic. He did
Yeah.
get that criticism. Very
Yep.
much very Cena-esque,
Yeah.
very limited moveset, no high spots.
Mm-hmm.
Um Relatively safe basic style, basic
Yeah.
ass moves. What
And
was
so
what
he
was
was
his
never hurt really.
what was his move list? He had chops, he had clotheslines,
Yep. Headlocks, rear chin
headlocks,
locks.
rear chin lock,
Yeah.
body slam,
Yep.
suplex.
And he did hammer locks. Every once in a while, you get a good wrestler in there, a true
Mhm.
worker in with him, and he would go with them a little bit. They'd actually do some
Yeah.
chain wrestling.
Obviously, his finisher was the leg drop,
Yep.
which I think, in my opinion, was a bad career move. He should have had a different finisher. Because, one, the leg drop
Yeah.
really isn't that great of a move. And two, like,
Well,
that caused so many problems for him physically.
yeah.
Like all the
And his
back
back and his
surgeries,
yeah,
which
his
probably
back and his
ultimately
ribs.
led to
He had a hip
impact,
replacement, so
which led to probably a series of like a chain of events that ultimately led to his demise. I feel like
but
he would have had a much longer career had he had a different move.
well, that may be true, but they had invested so much in selling the leg drop though, in the early '80s and stuff. There
Yeah,
was no going back at that point. It
yeah.
became the move of doom. If you got hit with it, the only ones that ever really kicked out of it was freaking what's the name, Ultimate Warrior, which that's a whole nother damn show right there with him. You got Ultimate Warrior, and you had Sid. Actually, Sid kicked out of it.
Hmm. Well, he was
So, but
supposed to be the
outside
next guy, but it just didn't work
exactly,
out.
but he
Yeah.
was Sid is Sid. That's all there was to that. But I think he pissed away his greatest chance when he was up in WWE when he
Hmm.
just didn't play well with others. That's all there was to it. So, but you talk to the guy, and he was the nicest guy in the world. He was the biggest,
Sid.
kindest. Yeah, he's the biggest,
Yeah.
kindest guy to ever talk to. He was just nice, just a nice guy, and he
Hmm.
was not Psycho Sid outside the ring. You know.
Okay. Bigfoot Fates brings up something interesting. Randy,
Yep.
do you remember the first time you saw Hogan in Rocky 3? What were your
I'd
thoughts?
seen him before that, so when he was in Rocky 3, I was like, "Oh, they got
No,
Hogan in."
obviously it wasn't your first time ever seeing him, but
Yeah,
seeing him in
yeah.
Rocky 3
Oh
was
yeah,
probably,
Thunderlip. He
yeah.
played Thunderlip. Remember he had freaking Stallone goes in there as Rocky. He's like, "What are we gonna do? We're gonna do a little punch in the butt," and you just see him growl at him. I'm like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
gonna get fun." Because he picks him up when he picks him up and throws and gets ready to throw him out. You hear him, "Adrian, catch me!" And then after he taps him on the back, and he's like, "Dude, what the heck?" He's like, "All part of the show."
What were I'll never forget the part where like after like Rocky like punches him in the face over and over again, then the match is over and the Hogan comes up to him. He's all cool. All of a sudden he's like,
Yeah,
"Hey, you want to take a picture together?"
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then Rocky's all
It's
like,
all
"What the
part of the
fuck?"
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that happened in real life. He based that off the Gorilla Monsoon Muhammad Ali thing.
Hmm.
He really did because
Oh,
Monsoon
that's where Rocky got the actual
he
inspiration
got the
from.
idea for the
Hmm.
Thunderlips thing, from that because even though it wasn't really a
Hmm.
setup thing, when Muhammad Ali got in the ring and he put his hand out too long and Monsoon grabbed him and put him in an airplane spin. So I know it was a setup, but it was funny as hell because you got Monsoon later on going, "What the hell's he doing in there? He don't know what he's doing."
Stallone is not next, by the way. That motherfucker's living to his 90s, man.
I about to say
He takes
he's
too
still
good
got too
care of
many
himself.
Tulsa Kings to do. He can't go nowhere. He's got too many Tulsa Kings to keep doing so.
Yeah. Okay, what about give me your thoughts on No Holds Barred?
I did not like it. The
What?
best part of
As a kid, I loved that movie, man.
I
It doesn't
absolutely
age well, obviously.
it was corny because number one, I loved. Don't get me wrong, Tiny Lister was gold. But that was a very handicapping movie for him. The guy that played Zeus.
Hmm.
It was very handicapping for him, and quite frankly, the best part of that whole movie was Stan Hansen in the urinals with those guys looking down.
Oh,
Go
that
and look.
was the clip I was pulling up. Hold on. Let's play it real
Yes,
quick. I think
I
we can play.
absolutely love that. Stan Hansen deserved an Oscar for that one.
I didn't realize that was Stan Hansen at the
Yeah,
time.
that's
Well, I
Stan
didn't know
Hansen.
who he was.
Yeah,
Okay, I got to pick a ghetto ass version so we don't get fucked up by
yeah,
YouTube. But here we
exactly.
go.
Excuse me, pal, but where do I go to bleed the old lizard? In your pants, Wimp.
Hold on, let's skip
Yeah, but I
to
say you want to make sure you don't get too many seconds involved
yeah.
with the.
Yikes.
Yeah, look at and now look who. That's the
I
one of
forgot
the.
to go before.
What the hell's that guy's name? I can't even remember his name. The one with the glasses.
Oh, there we go.
What
Look
are
how
you looking at?
look how trim Stan Hansen looks.
My God, I can't believe Burl's serious. These are the stupidest, crudest. How about Puss Yellow?
This was definitely Vince McMahon's doing, man. You could tell this
Oh
is
yeah.
his humor. This
Then
is
they just
like
pissed on each other.
this is his MO.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Who you call an idiot? You maggot? Certainly not you, sir. We meant the other idiot. I mean, the gentleman. No, don't, please. Wow. What do we got here? A teeny wang.
Tiny winger.
Here's another.
Tiny winger.
It ain't even worth it.
I love Stan Hansen
One of the greatest scenes in all of cinema.
ever, 100%. Because, like I said, Stan Hansen is, and to this day, you watch any of Stan Hansen's interview because he's doing shoot interviews and doing shows on YouTube every so often now too. A just listen to that guy's stories is amazing. Just
Hmm.
to hear him talk.
Wedge Antilles, what's up there?
Yeah, what's going on?
Who else is here? Oh, Corey Cole's up in the house. Stan Hansen was a hell of a man. Yes, he was.
He
Mr.
still
T's
is.
still alive. Yep, we got to
Yep.
watch out for
Stan
Mr.
Hansen is
T. He
too.
might be next.
Stan Hansen
Although
is
I think
too.
Mr. T takes pretty good care of himself,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, he's pretty good at taking care of himself. But I'm telling you right now, I to this day, Stan Hansen's probably 75 now.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going and messing with the dude at
Mm.
this point because he still wants somebody's butt, just like
Yeah.
Terry Funk was doing at 77 in the damn ring trying to
Yeah, right. That's another one we
moonsault.
lost, Terry Funk.
But he had gone into dementia by that time.
Yeah. I mean, he was, man, did you see pictures of him towards the end? Jeez.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
It was not pretty.
But that was a man. He was proud. He actually told people, like I tell people, he said, "I don't want y'all to come to my house, my funeral and sit and look at me all
Mm.
pristine. I want to look down and say, "Holy shit, what happened to him?"
Mm.
That's the way he behaved.
Give me your top Hogan matches.
Oh, top Hogan matches. I say the probably, of course, as far as work rate goes, him in the series with Inoki were amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
he was actually, you watch it and the dude could actually go at that time.
Yeah.
As far as for significance, obviously the Andre the Giant one, that was that passing of the torch thing, with in
It was the
WrestleMania
most
3.
historically significant, but I don't know if it
It
was
was the
the
worst
best
match
match.
by a long
No,
shot.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but you
Yeah.
got to remember he was trying to help Andre move across the ring half the time because Andre was
Yeah.
not
Andre
moving
was
well.
so beat up by that point, man.
Yeah, and his knees were going,
Yeah.
his hips were going. He could barely do anything, but he still called the match. Hogan said in during the Andre documentary, he still called the match, and he was up until the time they went out. He didn't know what was going to truly happen, whether Andre was going to go with it or not.
By
He
the
didn't know the
way,
finish.
a lot of people don't realize this because from history they only see Andre when he was at the tail end of his career. If you go back further,
Oh, there's another one.
when he
He
was
could
like
move.
when he was like actually athletic, he was actually impressive,
Even
man. He was way different.
even when he was, starting to get the gut in a little bit, probably the
Yeah.
late 70s, mid to late 70s, he was starting to get the gut. He could still move with the best of them. I mean, the matches he had with Kamala, most of the stuff he did was all uh you know, battle royals and such because he was an attraction. He would go territory, 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 and they
Yeah.
do battle royals with him. And
Corey's right. He was still concerned the Giant was going to decide to take him out. He wasn't going to
exactly.
play ball.
And the thing was, there was nothing he could have done about it if the
Yeah.
Giants wanted to, because the Giant could still get hold of him and do stuff to him if he wanted to.
John Hinojosa says Iron Sheik, Andre, and The Rock.
I'm going with the Iron Sheik one too. That was going to be the one, that I went after Andre because that was his first real world title,
Yeah.
and that was the one he was there forever. But me and you talked about it. You got to go back and watch it because you said you hadn't watched it yet. But that match with him in
I
WrestleMania
haven't
18,
seen the one with him and The Rock. I need to go and watch that.
18, him and The Rock. That is a textbook case of two performers knowing how to work a crowd
Hmm.
because everybody, when it all came out, Rock's the good guy, he's the bad guy. Hollywood Hulk Hogan is the bad guy, he's NWO, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They get out there and start staring each other down, and the crowd turns on The Rock. I mean, honestly,
There's a good
they could have
old
done a
fashioned
double
double
turn.
turn. Yeah.
They could have done a double turn. They didn't go through with it, but they played. Rock went to his heelish mode there during the match a bunch just to help play it along, And when Hulk Hogan started hulking up, doing his Hulk up thing, that crowd was going to blow the roof off that place.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. G.
Hey.
I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, Bigfoot Page, you're right. Hulk and Rock was a win-win. They made buku money off that. It broke up and finished off the NWO, if you want to get right down to it. That whole storyline was completely done, really, at that point. I mean, I know they kept it going, and they had Shawn Michaels come in, and they had Booker T come in.
I mean, Hogan and Flair had some bangers, so like people don't talk about them, but they
No,
did.
that first one for the WCW title.
Yeah.
It was just kind of fluff, but Flair did his best to make it look like he was going to actually be able to pull it out. Nobody believed he was going to pull it out, but he did a good job of trying.
I thought his matches with Macho Man were some of his final work.
He had great matches with good workers. Okay,
Yeah.
He really did. The one with Goldberg where he dropped the title to Goldberg, to this day, because Goldberg didn't know how to work at that point. He really still did not know how to work.
Oh, Nimovir just realized that Bigfoot and the $6 million Man was played by Andre the Giant.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Yeah,
I had that up on the other day.
That was one of the most epic moments in Bigfoot and pop culture history.
Now,
Flair and
Andre played it in the $6 Million Man in the first two episodes that they had Bigfoot in. Okay. Yeah. Later on, they brought Bigfoot back for the Bionic Woman.
Oh,
yeah. And Ted Cassidy played him then. Ted Cassidy was Lurch from the Addams Family in the 60s.
Even though the Hogan Andre match was the most iconic, I feel like one of Hogan's best rivalries.
Oh, yeah.
Piper. Remember the Saturday morning cartoon they had?
Yeah.
where like it was Hogan and then all the
Rock and Wrestling Connection.
faces,
Yeah.
but then the main bad guy was Piper.
All the time.
Yeah,
Him and Heenan.
yeah,
And then they made it look like who was it? Big John Studd was always the one helping out Piper, but they portrayed him as being a big lug. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, it was fun.
Okay, Randy, how about okay? Here, I'll ask you a more difficult question. In your opinion, what was Hogan's best match in WCW?
Oh, in WCW, even though they fucked up the ending,
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, the match with him and Sting was turning into a barn burner at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
For Starcade,
Piper
I think
was
it was
also one of my
97.
personal favorites, by the
Yeah,
way.
but the Piper one had no stake in it, really. I mean, it was
Yeah.
more like him just getting the win. And
Yeah.
the reason they actually discussed this in a couple of biographies later on between, I think it was Piper's biography that Hogan was talking on. He was like, they had talked, and they were like, it didn't make sense money wise for them to do it because Piper was making money big time as a heel, getting after everybody else, and Hogan was making money big time as the champ. It would have done no good to make Piper an actual challenger for the title.
Hey, Randy. I'm gonna step away for a second.
Okay,
Just talk to the crowd. I'll be
I'm
right back.
talking to the crowd. Okay, I'm looking at send off over here. Okay, big Hogan Flair, barbed wire steel cage. Okay, yeah, I don't foresee that one. But that being said, I was at Starcade '96 or was it '95? I can't remember. It was in Nashville, and it was the year that Flair won the Dirty Dozen. It was after Savage had the title. Flair was fighting him. Hogan wasn't even there at that one, so I don't know what the deal was with him at that point. But I believe it was '94 or '95. But yeah, Piper was a great heel. He was a great showman, is what he was. He didn't need a title in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I liked Piper. As far as Hogan himself, though, it's it's still hard to believe that he wasn't allowed to really push his wrestling acumen that he did have. But then again, I imagine once he realized where the money was at, he didn't push anybody to do that with it. He had his creative control, and he was going to protect his character at all costs. So, uh, now Bigfoot Bates, I've seen the $6 million man movie. It's $6 billion man. Uh, it was the movie. I had never seen it, but they were trying to tell us Bigfoot is real nice. No, what it was, Bigfoot Bates. It was Bigfoot was a character in the TV show, and he was actually a quote unquote alien, if you want to get right down to it. And they were trying to that he was bionic as well, is what it was. And I mean, he went into the mountain. There was a corridor that took him into the mountains, if I remember right. I mean, it was, yeah.
Sanoff says Mr. McMahon was the best wrestling authority heel. Mr. McMahon was, in my opinion, hands down, greatest heel in all of pro wrestling ever. My God,
as an authority figure, yeah.
But even, I mean, he even got there in the ring. But just, oh man, I used to fucking eat that shit up every time he got his comeuppance with Stone Cold. Oh God, I ate that shit up.
So did everybody else.
And some of the promos, like the "Life's Not Fair" promo, I mean, he dropped some of. I mean, okay, he's definitely up there as the greatest heel of all time.
Yeah.
As a kid, in my opinion, like the dude I hated the most, like kayfabe wise, was Bobby the Brain. I fucking hated that dude, man. Fucking hated that dude.
Because he always had that smart ass comment coming back. And I was the same way. I liked Heenan for when he was doing commentary. When he was a manager, oh, I hated the son of a bitch to death.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, look at it in '84 when they do the first WrestleMania was what, '85, I think it was, or '84.
I think it was '83, wasn't it?
No, he won it in '84.
No, because I was old enough to remember, so it was like '84, '85, yeah.
Yeah, or even '86 or something, because I can't remember if Pontiac was '87 or '88 now. But either way, you're talking in a 2-year period right there, 2 years. you essentially took Hogan from '84 all the way up, and Piper and Orndorff were the first villains in WrestleMania 1. And then after that, Orndorff becomes a good guy. Okay. And
Yeah.
fires Bobby Heenan on Superstars later on that year.
Oh yeah, Mr. Wonderful.
Yep. So he gets on there and he goes on a tear as a good guy. Everybody loves Mr. Wonderful. Everybody loves this guy that's dropping everybody on their heads with a pile driver. Just waiting to see him. And I hate to say it, I love me some Jerry Lawler, but nobody gave a pile driver like Mr. Wonderful. Okay.
So Riley Ron asks, I'll let you answer this one, Randy.
Oh yeah.
I don't hear anything about Mr. McMahon nowadays. Whatever happened to him, Randy?
Well, actually,
whatever happened
he has
to him?
already started another LLC, and it looks like he may be getting back into the wrestling biz with another wrestling company.
By the way, when I stepped away, it was to grab a beer because I was like, I wasn't going to drink tonight because I only drink on the weekend. But considering that I don't have work tomorrow and we got to commemorate the loss of Hogan.
Yep.
This one's for you, Hulkster.
Yep. And why you got a light beer? I thought you were a Bud Light guy. Well, what do you got?
No,
you got
I got
Modelo.
a Modelo's. I actually went to the liquor store looking for all American beer, but apparently they don't sell it here in Maryland. So I was like,
no,
fuck.
It's only in California right now. The way I understand.
No, they said it was only you can. It's mostly like Florida. That's where you.
Oh, really? It's only Florida. I thought they were doing it in California.
Yeah.
See, mine's Barsteiner. That's out of Germany.
Sandoff's like, let's go. I need Vince back, man. I know Vince is an asshole, and that shit with what he did with that lady was not cool.
No. But he's run his course on the wrestling side, too.
Yeah, and he was kind of booking that shit into the ground. Although, it's not like Triple H is doing much better, disappointingly, because people were expecting him to be like the Messiah.
Well, you can't expect that. I mean, honestly, I hate to say it like this because I don't want to give AEW any props for anything, for the most part. Because quite frankly, I know me and Brian Alvarez, we were talking about it on here that day that he was on with Tex and them. And
he did raise that an interesting point about like the Midnight Express kind of.
Yeah, and the Young Bucks, drawing comparisons and stuff. Yeah. And while I like the Young Bucks better now, I don't like Spot Fest TV. You know what I mean? And that's what I considered AEW because they weren't telling a good story. Then they started this bit with, John Moxley and hiding the title, and he's at it for 15 months now, and it was going. And then of course, finally, Hangman Adam Page won it during the Texas Death Matches a couple of weeks ago. So
that's the thing, though. I don't want to shit on those high spot type wrestlers either, because there is a place for that.
Exactly.
You know,
like
luchadors
has won me over a little bit. And I consider him and Kenny Omega both, and I still consider Kenny Omega kind of a high spot guy, but because he doesn't have the longevity, he really doesn't. He's not going to. But freaking Will Ospreay, that dude, watching him go, it's just like, do you ever
Will Ospreay can
get
go
tired? Do you ever get tired or slow down at all?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're talking a 30, 45-minute match, and he has not stopped running the entire time. So.
My favorite guy from that whole group, I mean, he's not in AEW, but Zack Sabre Jr. That's my guy.
Yeah, and they brought him in a couple of times there at AEW.
I love me some Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah. I love his style.
Yeah.
I love that it's so weird, and it's all like these weird submission holds and weird moves. I love the fact that he's got a very clear style, right? Like, the dude can't strike. Yep. Like, kayfabe, he can't strike, so he's got to rely on all these weird holds and moves.
Exactly.
But nobody knows what to do with it. Right, so he tells an interesting story. Plus, like in his promos, he comes off as like a really shitty liberal, and you just want to hate his guts.
Yeah. Hey, now Boondog got one out there, and you know me and my Bruiser Brody. If he had not been, he was already bigger in Japan in '88 than Hogan ever thought of being. As far as a worldwide draw. Him and Stan Hansen were already over. Where they were over.
Did Bruiser and Hogan ever wrestle?
Yeah, they wrestled in Japan actually. They wrestled in Japan. I think they wrestled in Florida in the early '80s.
Damn, Abdullah the Butcher is still. Oh yeah, I guess he is still alive. Holy shit!
Yeah, we don't want to talk about him.
I heard that guy's got like no legs though.
He's got no legs. I think he's wheelchair bound now, and I'm pretty sure he's still got hepatitis C. So,
God damn! I mean, with all the fucking metal that's entered his body,
dude,
Like,
But the thing is, though, he took liberties with people, much like what freaking what's his name did, New Jack. He took liberties with people
like I
without.
said, there was a time and there was
Yeah.
a place for that back then. That hardcore shit. As a little kid, I would go into like these. I would see the Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines with Abdullah
Hmm.
the Butcher all covered in blood. I'd be like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck is that?" Because all
Exactly.
I knew
But
was
the thing,
WWF Superstars.
well, Hannibal TV out on online here. He does this. The Hannibal does his little podcast and stuff, his
Mm.
little interview series and everything. That dude was a wrestler, and he got hepatitis C because of Abdullah the Butcher.
Mm.
Abdullah the Butcher cut him when he wasn't supposed to get cut.
Mm.
Abdullah the Butcher took his razor bladed finger and started tapping the dude in the forehead and getting him. And you're like, you can't do it if they're not expecting it. You know what I mean? And you're hepatitis C positive and you didn't tell nobody? Nah, screw you. You know
I
what?
think back then they
Go.
didn't even know what it was.
Well, it doesn't make no
I mean,
difference.
they were
He
a
still
bunch
knew
of
he had
ignorant
it.
ass fucks, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason Finch.
So, you know
Yeah.
what? Abdullah the Butcher, go back to your freaking rib shack and shut the fuck up for a while.
Mm.
So,
Hey,
anyway.
it's Bernard
Well,
Fox. I haven't seen you in a bit.
yeah, what's
Hey.
going on? But, it's like, there's a shoot interview with Kamala out there that he
Mhm.
talked about his time and stuff. And he went over to Japan as Kamala, and freaking Abdullah tried to extort all the black wrestlers that went to Japan.
Mm. I
Abdullah
heard
tried to
about
get
that.
them. They
Yeah.
all had to pay him to work
Yeah.
in Japan. He's like, I ain't paying you shit, and walked away. I
Yeah.
love Kamala. Anybody gets a chance to watch that James Harris shoot interview, go out and watch it. You'll be laughing for days. That dude, I wish I'd have been able to hear him while he was alive. I really do.
So, Randy, let me ask you, if somebody who was not a wrestling fan came up to you and asked you, Randy Gilbert, who is your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestlers? Would you put Hogan up there?
Yeah. For sheer cultural impact / carrying an entire
despite
division. Well, he carried
burning
an
so many
entire,
bridges, despite
despite that,
receiving
because
the
he carried.
ire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could say the same thing about Gorgeous George, because Gorgeous George in the 50s, he was a freaking masochist, the way I understood it outside of the damn ring, and he was a womanizer. He was this, he was that. He was not a good guy, the way I understand it. Now, I ain't gonna guarantee that's what actually said. This is just
Mhm.
what rumor mill had. But with Hogan, he carried an entire industry on his shoulders for 20 years, quite
Mhm.
frankly, until freaking Stone Cold came around. That whole revolution, the Attitude Era, is what kicked it up to another gear.
Right.
And I can understand where he was coming from when he started trying to get back in WWE after WCW was done. He was trying to get a cash in.
Mhm.
My problem is that he later on in life, he should have done like we said. He should have sat his butt down and said, "It's time for me to stop." Much like Ric Flair should have.
What
After
do
he
you
lost
think was Hogan's biggest faults or his biggest
Hogan knows best.
mistakes?
Hogan knows best.
No, well, I mean, like in terms of him generally. Okay, for example, all right.
Mhm.
If people ask me to analyze Hogan,
Yeah.
I say what he. Earlier I mentioned the pantomiming thing, and I think the reason why he deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore is because obviously he elevated the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
He helped draw a lot of money, and he made a lot of money
Oh,
for a lot of other people.
Yep.
I think what Hogan did best was that he understood the game the best. And he played the game the best.
He did.
And unfortunately, that also means a lot of backstage politics,
Yep.
a lot of keeping your thumb on the careers of other people. But that's the nature of the beast. People say that wrestling is fake, and I'm like, well, yeah, the outcomes are predetermined. That doesn't mean it's not competitive. It's fucking
Not
competitive. It's all get out.
Yeah, not competitive. It's just like any other job. Whoever
It's
wants to get to the
competitive
top
as all
first,
get out.
And
in
people
some ways,
say
it's
that.
more competitive.
Yeah, I mean, but when they say fake, I'm sitting there looking at them like, are you freaking kidding me? Now, remember, Hogan was the one that choked out freaking what's his name on TV? God, the dude that was on Law and Order, SVU or Law and Order period. I can't remember which one.
Mhm.
He was a comedian. He did that show, and he had a talk show for a while. and was talking about how something was fake or whatever.
Yeah.
And Hogan put him just in a regular front face lock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then cinched in on it. He dropped, knocked clean out, done.
Mm.
Yeah, David Brenner. Wait, no, that wasn't David Brenner, was it? Hang on. I'm going to look at this because I remember what it was.
Hogan knew how to market himself for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
He knew how to
the merch money,
himself.
the cartoons, the ice cream,
Richard
the
Belzer.
T-shirts,
Richard
the action
Belzer,
figures.
not David Brenner. It's Richard Belzer.
Yep.
And he did the show with Richard Belzer.
Mm-hmm.
Belzer wanted him to put him in a hole, and they said it was supposed to be a sleeper hold, and it wasn't. If you look at it, it's a front face lock. But he got the forearm across the throat, and then he lifted up and literally did the chokehold.
Yeah.
It became the chokehold right there. He did that, and the minute he went limp, he let go of him. He did not realize that he was actually completely out. And when he let go of him, he just went down and he hit hard.
Jason Finch raises a good point. He says, "I'm a Real American" song is a fantastic. It is a fantastic song. He's got one of the best theme songs, in my opinion.
And you know who wrote that and produced it for him, right? Another one that just left us a few weeks back, Rick Derringer.
Damn.
Rick Derringer was a great guitarist. Okay.
Back to my earlier question, okay?
Okay.
In my opinion, I think Hogan's biggest flaw was that he didn't endear himself to the other guys coming up enough in the industry because he didn't really give back to like the younger guys.
Yeah.
He didn't give back to the organizations. It was all about me. What can WCW do for me? And Hogan was loyal. Okay.
Yeah.
He was loyal to his boys.
Yeah.
Right. He was loyal to Nash and Hall.
Yep.
You know, he was loyal to Bruce the Barber Beefcake
for a long time, until the last few years anyway.
Yeah, but he was loyal and he did help them. But
Jimmy
he helped them largely because he had them like tag along. They were his entourage, right?
Jimmy Hart shouldn't have been doing anything over these last several years, but every time Hogan showed up, Jimmy Hart was with him. So he took care of his people. He really did.
If you listen to shoot interviews from everyone else in the business, like they all hated his guts. They all had nothing good to say about him.
Well,
people like Bret Hart. I mean, obviously Undertaker's got reasons to not like him.
Well, Bret Hart has just got issues with everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. He's mad at everybody for everything. I mean, I could have done this. I could have done. Quite frankly, you were like a brown paper bag. And yeah, you're a great technician, but you know what? I can only watch Dean Malenko so much.
So Sanoff says, I gotta disagree. I think he gave. Well, Brock is different though. Brock was the golden goose that was anointed by Vince,
and he did not have a choice on that one.
Yeah,
he was going
to I mean, they were going to sacrifice Stone Cold on the altar of Brock. No. That's why Stone Cold left. So, Brock is a bit of an extreme example. But I mean, think about it, right? Like, who was he supposed to Who was he supposed to lose to? That would have helped, that he just decided not to lose to?
That would have been actually, from what I understood, the whole bit with Jeff Jarrett and Vince Russo, and this is just coming through different things. I never heard him.
Or what about Sting?
I don't know for sure, because I don't know if that was a screw up on Nick Patrick's part per se, or what, because that whole thing got flubbed up, and that's because of
Sting was supposed to be the hero of that story.
But Sting was not in a good mindset. That's what they were having the issue with. Sting was hopped up on drugs at the time. He was out of shape, overweight. He did not have the gas to go a full, a real match. Hogan still did. Hogan was taking care of himself. But they were building this so much, they had to do something with Sting. But Sting had to get it, and that's when Sting actually did the I found Jesus stuff, and he started getting his life straight, and he squared himself away after that. But
do you agree with Sanoff? Stone Cold was in the right with both Brock and Hogan too. I kind of agree with Stone Cold and Brock, although Stone Cold himself has expressed regrets about how that whole thing played out.
Because he looked like a whiny little bitch when he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, take my ball and go home, because you're not doing what I want.
Like, even Stone Cold now looks back and he's like, yeah, I regret that. Like, he's mentioned that he's told that story multiple times on his podcast. I used to listen to that thing religiously, by the way.
Yeah, and anytime he brings it back out, he does whatever. I try to listen to whatever, because he's got great stories and stuff. And I mean, the dude came up in old
Well,
school, just
his
like the
main
Undertaker did.
regret was actually the way he kind of fucked over Vince when by walking out on that whole Brock angle. Like
Yeah,
he looked back on that and with a lot of regret because he was like,
yeah,
man, I shouldn't have done that to Vince after all that Vince
yeah.
did for me. Like he clearly didn't agree with the whole Brock thing, but he was like, I mean,
Because he didn't set it up. That's what his biggest
yeah, it
issue
was
was.
like they didn't set it
They're
up.
just going to throw him to the wolves and
Yeah,
like, no, we need to establish
they're just gonna piss away his character. You know?
exactly. And
Yeah.
or they were going to do it on a Monday night too. They weren't going to do it on a pay per view. They weren't going to build to it. They were just going to do it on a Monday night and shoot it. He's like, screw that. You got to build this thing up some.
Hmm.
And I can understand that. Now, there's another one out there. Where was it? I saw it. What? Riley Ron, as was Hogan an ill, or was it an unexpected? While unexpected, he has been in failing health for several months. Really,
Hmm.
he's had so many surgeries over the last month and a half, the way I understood it. And like I said, I don't listen to Bubba the Low Sponge. I think everything he says is a lie. But
Hmm.
he started saying shit like he was on his deathbed and stuff like that. To which Hogan's wife automatically came out and said, "No, that's not the case. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're doing that." Now there was some sort of issue with one of the surgeries, and he had a tracheotomy for a while, so he could not talk,
Hmm.
from what I understood. Then all of a sudden the day happened because I think it was Monday. I got to go back and look, 21st or something like that. I think it was Monday, and freaking Jimmy Hart had posted something against what Bubba the Love Sponge had said. Then they just did karaoke with Nick. I'm like, wait, how's he? I'm sure he means that they had a karaoke night with Nick and they were doing whatever. I don't
Hmm.
imagine Hogan actually sang on karaoke or nothing. But and if it's like it says, it's a cardiac event. Nobody would have saw that coming anyway. But he has been in failing health for a while. So
Yeah. Plus, it was cardiac arrest. It wasn't a heart attack. That's
yeah.
cardiac arrest is a kind of a difficult thing to kind of spot coming.
Well, yeah, you
Yeah,
drop.
you just drop.
But
Yeah,
the electric signals in the heart just stop. So and where a heart attack is an actual blockage of blood flow.
and you
So
actually, there's symptoms leading up to it. Whereas,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Whereas I mean, Carrie Fisher, case in point, on a plane, all of a sudden, cardiac arrest, done. There's nothing anybody can do. If you're time to going like that,
yeah,
you're done. There's just nothing you can really do. You could heart pump, you could CPR it, you could defib, you could do whatever. Defib's the easiest thing in a cardiac arrest
hmm,
bit because that's what's gonna
yeah,
restart the heart. But if
yeah,
you can't get a defib to start it, you I'm sorry, it's over.
yeah.
Anyway, okay, back to good stuff.
That's
What we
dark.
got?
Yeah, it's some
I'm trying to
dark
look at
shit.
some of the questions over there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Never says I don't
what's
like
that?
Brock's character too much. He was too much of a Mary Sue.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
understand that.
I mean I can understand that, but he's also Brock, man. I
But he
mean,
also evolved that character too. I mean, he really did.
and he
Between
could
him and
work. He
Heyman.
could go. He could go. Like
Oh, little Patty, is that what you're talking about? Is that Barry Windham you're talking about? Or I heard he had a heart attack or a while back or
he just
cardiac
dropped at an
arrest?
airport.
Yeah, I think that was a Barry Windham thing. I heard a while back, but
Hmm.
he's alive. I mean, he lived through it though. So
Hmm.
Brock's daughter does look like him. If anybody's been out there watching the news and stuff, Brock Lesnar's daughter just set either the national or world record. I don't know which in the shot put
Hmm.
during the Olympic trials. So get ready. Next Olympics, you're going to be seeing his daughter. She just graduated college, I think, out of
Do you think
Montana.
Brock comes back? They've been
I
talking
hope
about
so.
it. They
I
need him
hope
to come
so.
back. He should come back.
Urso, I did like Dan the Beast Severn. But he was once again one of those plain vanilla guys. You couldn't put him into a real professional wrestling ring. I mean, you could,
I
but
mean, the
he
guy had like no charisma
no.
at all.
He was best in UFC settings, much like Ken Shamrock was. But
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock learned how to be a wrestler, so that was a good thing about him. But he still wasn't the best in the world at it. So, uh, but I will never forget watching UFC 4 on tape because it was quote
Oh
unquote.
man, Ken Shamrock was my favorite dude back then, back in those early UFCs.
I'm telling you.
He was. I
Well,
was a Ken Shamrock fan, like hardcore
him
fan.
him and Hoist Gracie went to a draw, I think, one time, and then
Mhm.
Hoist beat him another time. But
No, Hoist beat him in UFC 1 with a.
that was it.
But
That was it.
he choked him out with a gi choke.
Yeah,
It
but
was
he didn't
because Ken Shamrock was caught off guard. He had no idea what
what he was getting into.
what he was getting into.
Yeah,
And
same
then
thing
once,
with
when they
with
met
Dan
again
Severn.
in the super fight, he kind of
Yeah.
trained.
Yeah,
Like he kind of knew, okay, so he's gonna do this with his gi. He's gonna,
yeah,
because he's not
but
used to fighting guys with gis and who are gonna use
no,
the sleeve to wrap it around your neck like that.
yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of those early UFC fights that Hoist Gracie won, he was using the gi as a weapon because it
Oh yeah,
essentially
a lot of times.
was.
A lot of
Yeah.
times. Look what he did. Look what he did to Dan Severn. That's why I'm talking about Dan Severn in UFC 4. Okay. Night, little Patty. Y'all have fun. In UFC 4, Dan Severn had him down. And I mean, in the finals, Dan Severn is holding on to him and doing the normal grappler thing, trying not to leave himself open to get choked out. Because he knew if he left his head up at all, Gracie was going to get in there and get a choke on him, right?
hmm
Gracie pulled them around the cage, and this is before rounds. 12 minutes this match went. Okay.
Gracie was getting manhandled pretty bad up until that triangle choke. If you go back and
Yeah.
watch that fight,
I don't even know if it's a true triangle choke. If you look, it's
no,
just his
that was
foot. It's
no,
just
that
his
was
foot that
that
got up
was
there.
that was locked in deep. That was a locked in deep. That was probably the first time Dan Severn had ever seen a triangle choke.
It looked like a
That
foot to
thing,
me when I was
that
watching.
thing was locked in deep.
All
No,
I saw was his
I've
foot
watched
get
that
up there.
match several times. It doesn't look like it from the angle because like you when you
Yeah.
see him tap,
It
it's
looks
from the
like there's
back.
just a foot up underneath his chin like that.
But then when you see it from other angles, you're
He got
like,
he,
that
yeah, he's
was a
done.
deep ass triangle. That was locked in.
Either way, he
Yeah,
carried him around that damn octagon with his toes in that chain link.
yeah.
Severn was 6 minutes into it before he realized he could get out, hit him, get back in. You know what I mean?
Danny Stanton, what's up, dude?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we're just sitting here just commiserating about Hulk Hogan
Hogan.
being all sad.
And yes,
Rest in
Boondock.
rest in
I
peace,
saw the
brother.
fight against
Yeah,
Chemo too. I saw the fight
rest in
against Chemo
peace.
too.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kimbo Slice, he was okay, but he was a backyard brawler. That's what he was for the most part.
I liked Kimbo though. I heard he was like a really nice guy behind the
He
scenes.
was. The way I
Yeah.
understood, he was really nice. Same with Bob Sapp.
hmm
I mean, come on, Bob Sapp is the big. Look at any of Bob Sapp's movies. He's like the biggest lovable goon in the
Yeah.
world. You know.
Oh man, when Piper died, man, that shit really hurt my feelings, man. That
Yeah.
shit
But he had
really
been
hurt.
coming a while. You could tell when he was out in public, the cancer was getting bad. He was getting bloated. He was getting bigger in the belly and stuff, and he wasn't able to move. I mean, that
Who,
one,
Piper?
Piper, yeah, he was
Oh,
getting bad toward the end. He really was.
Oh, damn, man. That one hurt my feelings.
Oh, Boondock, I saw the one with Royce and Chemo back in UFC 3.
Yeah.
As the one that Royce won it finally.
Won it
Chemo
with
beat
an
the
armbar.
ever loving
Yeah.
crap out of him. Won it with
Yeah.
an armbar, and then he couldn't continue. That's where what the hell
That was UFC
dude?
3.
Scott Coleman or whatever was one that ended up winning it because he was the alternate replacement, got shoved into the finals. He was
Yep.
fresh. Of course he's gonna win it.
UFC 3. I remember that one. I saw that one live. Well, live
Yeah.
on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Let's
Three wasn't on
see.
pay-per-view. They didn't do it. None of those early ones were on pay-per-view.
They were.
They might have been after the fact, maybe replayed later on or something. But as far as original, they were tape traded, much like it was.
No, they were pay-per-viewed. They were pay-per-viewed.
I never saw any pay-per-view of any of them.
They were.
Literally, I got.
I'll bet the farm they were pay-per-view. I'll bet
I'd
the
have to
farm
look at that one
because
that
I watched them. I watched them as they appeared. They weren't huge. It was mostly
not even
tape
close.
trading, but no, they were pay-per-view
Yeah,
events.
that's all I remember is tape trading.
Yeah.
So because they were never advertised or nothing for any of them that I saw.
Because it was seen as like fucking pornography practically. It was seen as
If
too
you're gonna go
hardcore to
pay-per-view,
like
you
market.
got to advertise though.
Yeah, no, but it was pay-per-view. It was.
Either way, I would have
Yeah.
never seen it. So.
Danny Staten says, "Wow, can you believe Mr. Milk and Vitamins died before Flair?" Well,
Yeah,
true
no,
that. I
we
mean,
can't. but Flair's pickled now, so it doesn't make a whole lot of difference.
I don't think Flair's very long for this world.
That's the way he's going. Did you see the TMZ had an interview with him about his best friend Hulk Hogan? I'm like, huh? I mean, became close later in their later years.
Well, I mean, they had a lot of shit together, you know. Even if they were on bad terms, he's probably still part of them. It's like, man,
well, yeah, they kind of mirrored each other for years,
Yeah.
and then the Flair's quote unquote retirement match that he did at age 70 instead of staying retired like he should have done it after Michaels beat him. His retirement match was with Hogan and I forget who else was there with him. It was a tag team match.
Was it with Hogan?
I think it was with Hogan.
Was that in TNA?
No. It was an indie. It was an indie thing.
He did an indie match with Hogan? That was
hang on.
I didn't realize that. What? Oh yeah, Danny said. I saw those videos. Buff Bagwell losing his leg. Yeah.
Oh, I lied. He teamed with Adalo, whatever you call him, Andrade. He teamed with Andrade because at that time Andrade was still married to his daughter. And
Sanoff says, by the way, has the JBL angle of him clotheslining everyone on TNA led anywhere yet? Have you been following TNA?
No. Yeah, and I saw it too. I saw all those. It never went anywhere, other than the fact that now we have all of a sudden a working relationship.
I think Michelle and Little Patty are literally the only females. Well, Little Patty went to bed. I think Michelle. I think you're the only girl here.
Yeah,
it's all dudes being all sad about Hulk Hogan.
One of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett were the opponents on Ric Flair. So, but anyway,
I thought Jay Lethal got canceled. Wasn't he one of those dudes that got canceled?
Not that I know of. He's still in was it Ring of Honor? I think.
Yeah. Oh, John says the JBL angle was dropped,
and I don't know why, because it had a lot of potential. But I think it was trying to set up what's already going on. So, and when Vince left, it just kind of. It had he hit everything. He hit the MLW, at Major League Wrestling. He hit TNA. He hit NWA Power Pro. I mean, he hit a bunch of indies. You know.
Yeah, motherfucker should have stayed retired after Shawn Michaels, though. I agree with you.
Yeah, because he's a shell. He couldn't do anything, and everybody's afraid to touch him because he might actually have a heart attack and die.
Yeah,
you don't want to be known as the guy that killed Ric Flair, do you?
Fuck no. That guy's an institution, man. You can't be doing that.
Well, yeah. I mean, and Buff Bagwell had a leg amputated this week, or last week, one of the two.
Sanoff says, did y'all like the Sting versus Hogan match in TNA? I thought it was great. I didn't even see that.
He's talking about the main event Mafia thing that went along with him when they were Hogan was well past his prime. It should have never happened. And
was Vince Russo in it at that time?
I don't think so. I don't think Russo was involved in that one.
JBL was in AAA.
Yeah, he did AAA as well. He hit a bunch of indies and stuff. Now AAA has been bought out essentially by WWE.
Yep.
I think the TNA.
TNA had its bright spots, man.
Yeah,
it did.
The TNA. Well, they gave me Samoa Joe. Okay, that's all I care about. They gave me Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. They're two of my favorite workers ever now, because anytime I hear Samoa Joe's music hit, I'm like, who is going to get killed today?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's not funny. That's not funny, Danny. Come on.
Danny says, Buff Bagwell versus Zach Gowen. One more match. Sadly, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, Buff Bagwell.
I didn't care for the Zach Gowen thing. That was just a grab at ratings. That's all that was. The poor kid. I feel for him, and he did his best, but he still was only $105. I mean, come on. So anyway, I mean that TNA right now I think has better writing and stuff with it than it did before, because as much as I love Jeff Jarrett, TNA was a repository for ex WWE stars there for a while. That's all it was. The old timer WWE.
You know what's kind of crazy to think about? Like a lot of those guys from that golden age of WWF era, like the Superstars era, a lot of those guys are gone. Hey, Sinfully, right?
Yeah.
Now Hogan's gone. Savage is gone.
Yep.
Well, I mean, but a lot of those guys. Ravishing Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect,
Yep.
Bobby Heenan, Andre. But you know
Mean
what the
Gene.
ironic thing? One of the ironic things is I'm just realizing I'm like, of all the ones that are still around, fucking Jake Roberts, really?
Yeah, the one
You would
that
have thought he
probably
was the
should not
first
have
to
did
go.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Him and Ric
motherfucker
Flair
was
are-
smoking crack in the fucking motel rooms and shit.
I think him and Ric Flair ought to have the same ticket on the same
Yeah,
bus.
how's that dude like the last man standing? Jake Roberts of all people.
Yeah. And now he's still he's not too long for it because he's on oxygen a lot of the time now. Even though he's got his life straight and he's doing stuff right or whatever.
It's lasted
I've
way
seen the last
longer
few-
than anyone gave him expected him
Oh yeah.
to.
He should have been
Shit.
gone probably 15
I mean,
years
he
ago now.
outlasted Scott Hall. Damn.
Yeah. That was another one that got me off guard because
God damn.
Scott Hall had just gotten his
Scott
shit
Hall
straight.
really hurt my feelings when he passed. That one stung.
Yeah. Because
That one stung deep.
he literally just got done with
Oh,
DDP
man.
and they had got him straight finally.
That one stung deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. That one shouldn't have happened so soon, too. That was like just from surgery. Oh no, Lawler isn't doing great either. Danny Stanton. Oh no.
I don't think so. I don't think he's doing great. I mean, he doesn't do a whole lot. I haven't seen a whole lot of his interviews lately because he hasn't really been on a bunch. But
yeah, and then JR's not doing great either.
No, we are. But his cancer's in remission.
Oh, that's good.
JR's cancer's in remission.
Good
but
news.
Here's one for you. This is a rumor I heard. I don't know if it's true or not because he's a widower, and stuff like that. JR, that is. Who he's been hanging around with at different conventions and stuff, and supposedly seeking companionship with Missy Hyatt.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember Missy Hyatt or not.
Oh, I remember Missy Hyatt.
He's actually been seen. They've been
good on him. Good for him.
Yeah, dang right.
He deserves
it. Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would have never have ever figured that though. Oh yeah, there you go, Paige. Jake Roberts is the Ron Jeremy of wrestling. He'll never go away. Actually, I'd probably put that on Flair now.
Yeah. I'd say Flair at this point.
Oh, that's a whole nother show there.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other show, Benoit.
Well, we've done that show. We did the Infamous Minds on text.
Yep,
on
sure
just
did.
Yes, indeed, Danny Stanton. JR did get some of that sympathy puss.
Hey, do you blame him? If he could?
Sanoff was like Animal was another one that shocked him.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. It just came out of the blue. All of a sudden, boom, he's gone.
Yeah, Brian Christopher did pass away.
Yes.
He passed away in jail, right?
In jail,
yeah.
He died in jail.
Yeah, that one's sad.
I don't know if it was from a overdose or if he hung him. The way I understood it, I think he hung himself. I think.
Man, so many of those guys are gone.
Yeah. I mean, and it just freaking sucks. I mean, well, hell, look at the Wild Samoans, the uncles of The Rock, The Wild Samoans, Appa and Sika. Appa dies, or Sika dies, whichever one died first. And it wasn't 2 months later, the other one.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even mention Sabu. That one happened recently.
Yes, Sabu. That caught me off guard, too.
That one caught me off guard. I loved me some Sabu. I was an ECW mark hardcore back in the 90s, man. Back in those mid-90 days.
It's a wonder Sabu lived as long as he did, actually, at times. I thought
Sabu and Taz were my favorite from those old school ECW days.
Yep. He was great. It was Psycho Sid, same thing. I didn't expect.
Also loved me some RVD. Yeah.
Yep. So, the Psycho Sid passing away, that caught me a little off guard. But I mean, I don't know how much roided up because the dude was very into health stuff because of the way he played softball almost professionally.
New Jack was sad.
Yeah, New Jack was sad as well. You want a good interview or a good shoot interview? Go out there and find his rant about Benoit. Okay. He's in a shoot interview with a Honky Tonk Man and Iron Sheik. Okay.
Danny Stanton says Terry Gordy went young.
I think he was 42.
Yeah.
Yep. There was another one that was a great wrestler. I mean, he had not even he had done great, but he could have had a much bigger career. And Bobby Eaton, same way, Danny. Bobby Eaton, same way. I cried when Bobby Eaton died. When I found out Bobby Eaton died, I cried.
Like you legit?
Oh yeah, I had shed a tear because that dude, he couldn't do an interview to save him. But you know what? You couldn't ask for a better worker in the ring. And he was a tag team guy that made everybody he tagged with look better.
Is Bob Backlund still with us?
Yep, he's still. In fact, I saw a picture of him today.
Yeah.
He's not in the greatest of health, but the guy that lives right next to him, and when he comes out and stuff, they take pictures, and he's
I mean,
still
that dude, that
all about
motherfucker
healthy
is old
living.
as hell.
Oh
Yeah, another one that we lost recently, superstar Billy Graham, the guy whose gimmick fucking Hulk Hogan stole.
And Jesse
essentially.
Ventura stole.
Yeah.
And now my mom and dad. Now this ought to tell you something. This in the 70s, early to mid 70s, my dad and my mom used to laugh because Superstar Billy Graham would go around to the territories and he'd show up here. At that time, it was big time wrestling. It wasn't world class championship wrestling. It was big time wrestling at the time. And he'd show up here, and the dude would sit there and do these interviews, talk about don't touch the face, Jack. Everybody was Jack. Okay, don't touch his face, Jack. And he's always, you remember how he used to talk and everything. Hey, Jack, you don't do that. And he literally would sit there and start spouting off crap, and he had to turn away from the camera, the hard set camera, because he was giggling at the stuff he was saying. He started cracking his own self up. And I'm like, that's just like the funnest shit in the world to watch him crack themselves up. Or watch. That's why I love watching R-Truth. And you notice they've dropped a lot on him now lately.
Yeah.
Because R-Truth, his whole gimmick was to just make other wrestlers crack. Just crack, make them break characters. So he's done it to Brock Lesnar at least twice.
Right.
And you could just see, and it wasn't just a, oh, I slipped up and laughed. Brock Lesnar was actually chuckling. I mean, it looked like he was a belly laughing at the shit, So
anyway, I think we should end it soon because I don't want to step too much on Monica's toes. Guys, Monica's got a show going on right now.
Yep, I'm going over there right after
Our
this.
Paranormal World, if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. Danny Stanton says, not wrestling, but R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much so. That was another one that hurt this week.
That one hurt. But in terms of the world of music, don't worry, guys. The world of music is in safe hands because not only is K-Pop Demon Hunters the #1 movie in the world and all of its songs are like top of the charts, but also, Randy, BTS has recently reunited because they all just got out of military service.
Yeah, that's the only thing I am happy for them. I'm glad they did their
they finished their military
state required
service.
duties that the Koreans make them do and stuff. But hey, I'm still not going to be a fan. It's just,
and one of the members is actually pursuing a master's degree as well.
That's cool.
While being and then also Blackpink reunited. So the world of music is in safe hands now that K-pop has taken over the world of music. So you're welcome.
I'll tell you what, there was a Super Bowl commercial when they
all you boomers
for 5G, 4G, whatever Verizon was doing, and it had Sharon and Ozzy on it, and they talk about, hey, we need the 3. It was a 3G. This is how old it was. We were talking about 3G. What about 4G? What's a G? And they kept, what's a G? Okay, time to switch out. They brought in Justin Bieber to go in and do it behind him back. He said, what's a Bieber? And you got Justin Bieber behind him in a little goatee going, I don't know, kind of looks like a girl.
Man, I wish Ozzy was still around so he could have done stuff with K-pop. That would have been awesome.
Oh, it would have been gold because he'd have tore him. He'd respected them. Don't get me wrong. He would never treat them like shit, but you can imagine the fun they would have had.
The shenanigans that would have ensued.
Yeah. So.
Anyway.
Yep.
So I think I'll leave it here, guys. If you got a cold one, crack one open.
Yep.
In memory of our dearly departed Hulkster. Godspeed.
This is empty.
Thank you for the memories. And
Mr. America. Gotta
Mr.
remember the whole storyline.
Yeah. I love that whole thing, by the way, where everyone's like, who is he?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was like so
we
obvious.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
What's that mustache coming out?
Anyway.
Or when he was messing with the Undertaker, got on Undertaker's bike. He's like, Undertaker, get off my bike, blah blah blah, bitch.
Rest in peace, Hulkster.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Ozzy.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Theo. Huxtable.
And Chuck Mangione, and Oh, and by the way, the guitarist of Golden Earring, if you ever heard the song Radar Love, it was George Yeomans.
Hmm.
He died today, or died yesterday, actually.
I heard that too. I saw that.
Yeah.
I think I saw something on that on Facebook. But anyway, yep, crack one up into their memory. So we're gonna peace out, guys. Tune in on Saturday. Randy and I have a episode planned.
Yeah.
So yeah, this isn't this is just a special just for tonight, just because we're both sad about Hulk Hogan. So
Pretty much. So,
all right, y'alls.
All right.
Peace. See you.
See y'all.
See you alls on Saturday. Hop on over to Monica's. She's playing right now. So peace.
all right. Later.